This short video is going to explain how to create a rubric from scratch on the Turnitin tool on Blackboard. So on your Turnitin link, click on the drop-down menu and click on Edit. The page will then come up where you can edit your assignment. We saw this before in my previous video when we were setting up the assignment in the first place. So click on Optional Settings. The drop-down menu will open up. Scroll all the way down till you look for and find rubrics. Now I loaded a rubric before when I was setting up the assignment, but I want to create a new one from scratch. So you click on Launch Rubric Manager. It will take a few moments to load. Now it's loaded for us a generic template for a rubric. We don't want this one, we want to create our own. So click on this little block in the corner at the top on the left, and then click on Create New Rubric, so that a new empty template comes up like this. It's perfect. So you can go ahead and type your rubric name in here. For me, for example, I would say Politics 1A Take Home Test, so that you have a name for it. And then you're going to want to look at your scales. Now, there are 3 scales here, and I usually work with 5 scales. So you click on plus a couple of times until you've added 2 more columns to the columns that are already existing here. So you see here, I've added a 4th column and a 5th column. So if you want to go back and name them something, I usually refer to scales like this. Poor, just sort of 1 out of 5. Fair, which would be 2 out of 5. Good, which is going to be 3. Very good, which is 4. And excellent, which will be 5. Now, there's an extra column that's been added here for some reason, so if that does happen, don't worry about it. Just go to the little bin at the top and delete it. Do you want to delete the scale? Yes. We only want 5. There we've got 5. If you want that one back again, just remember to add a plus, and you can add more columns, and it can go up like that. But I've always found that 1 to 5 is good for really working out how to mark an assessment nicely. It works out very well with 1 to 5. Now you have to fill in your criteria on the side here for what you want your essay to be marked in terms of or according to. Just remember that everything must add up to 100% below here, otherwise the rubric won't work. So usually I split it up into 4%, 8%, and 12%, sometimes 20%, depending on what I'm looking for. Maybe it's research, citation, arguments, topic formulation, introductions, conclusions, whatever you want to use to test. When you mark your essay or your take-home test, all these criteria will obviously change. They're dependent on what you want to look for. For the moment, just for the purposes of this exercise, I'm going to make each of these 4 criterion out of 25, so that it will add up to 100 easily. And I'll just say, for example, intro, it's going to count out of 25. I'm going to make one that says argument, 25, one that says research, 25, and one that says structure, for 25. And then I'm going to press on one of these blocks up here and start writing in the content that I want to put in. For example, poor, you would normally say something like no introduction, and that would make it very poor. It helps if you spell correctly in the first place. So no introduction is poor. Fair might be, you might want to write something like intro present, but improperly formed, for example. And then you keep going up, filling all your blocks in terms of whether it's good, very good, or excellent. You do the same thing for each block. You've got to fill in every block, okay? And once it's done, then your rubric is actually created, and you have that rubric forever and ever going forward, and it's very easy to use for any assessment that you want to use. I have a very nice rubric I use for essay marking. If anybody wants to use that, I can help you set it up, or you can use that one. It's quite a nice one in terms of breaking down what it is you would require when you mark an essay type assignment. So once this is all done, you can press save at the bottom of the block. Now once you've filled in every block and saved it, then it will look like this. So I've just pulled up another rubric to show you what it could look like. So this is my rubric that I used for my Politics 2C essay last year, and I've got there how to weight it differently for topic, focus, structure, writing, research, and it goes all the way down. Citing, references, key issues, discussion, etc. And all of it comes to 100, so the total is 100 down there, and that's how the rubric looks. So once you've finished your rubric, you save it and then you close it, like that, and then you make sure that it's actually attached to the essay that you want over here. So I want to attach this 2C one, so I'm going to leave it there, and then you go to the bottom and you press submit, so that the Turnitin will remember that that's the rubric that you've launched. So once you've saved your rubric, it'll go back to this home page. Now I just want to go in and make sure that the rubric is attached. So you click on View, Complete, and wait for the page to open up. That should say Messages in the top right-hand corner. There it is. Click on Messages. Click on Assignment Inbox. Now this is the assignment that I loaded before, so I'm going to go on there and see if the rubric is loaded. Okay, the assignment's opened. I'm going to click on the side to open up the whole side panel, and I'll click on the rubric button down there. And once you click on that, the rubric should come up, and there it is. So there's a 2C rubric. Okay, so that's how you create a rubric for a Turnitin assignment on Blackboard.